Alright guys, today we're going to look inside of one of these reels here, and we're going to find out, do they have 17 bearings and one anti-reverse bearing? That's what they claim on this one. Now this one does not have this name printed on the reel, although it came in a box that had that name on it. So let's just get right into it, because I have a feeling these guys are being a little less than honest with us. And I'm also going to talk about what I think overall. I'm going to point out a couple of things that might, if you're thinking about buying one, I would say you might want to think about. They're fair reels, they're cheap, so that's why I bought a bunch of them, because they were cheap. They will end up being used. I'll probably put them on some poles for some catfish rods or something that I'm not constantly reeling in and throwing out like the ones I fish with for my redfish and saltwater and stuff. But anyway, let's just get right into this puppy and count the bearings, guys. I just want to see. No, I already know. I can't act like I don't know, but just for the purposes of you guys, let me take this cap off here and let me show you something under this tension cap. This right here is a bushing. On these here that say 11 plus 1 actually has one more bearing than this one that says 17 plus 1. Go figure. This is just a hard, I don't even know what kind of material that is, hard plastic or something. And there's a bearing on this outside here. So we have established that there's one bearing we found so far. Well, there's one here on the back of this cap. There's one on this spool here. So that makes up 3 bearings. Alright, let's pop her off. And if you look under here, you have the anti-reverse. It's not really I guess you could call it a bearing, because they have some little rollers, but it's more like a clutch, that one-way system. Alright, well, I'm looking at it. We're both looking at it, and we're saying, okay, well, where would all these bearings be? These guys are claiming. I'm looking at the belly of the beast, guys. There's just, I will say there's a bearing around here at the end of this shaft right here. You take this screw loose and this screw loose, there is one bearing under here, which I got to give them credit for that, because some of the reels I fished with just have a bushing down there, and I've fished with them for years and they're fine. But the main bearings that really matter on a reel, in my opinion, are the ones on the spool. So you see it has one on each end, but we'll talk about that and the issues I have with that later. As far as construction, it's pretty good, I guess, as good as most of them these days that I've been in. They're like this little plastic part here that raises and lowers as you take it in and out of gear. Most of them have a little piece of stainless above the plastic here that kind of keeps it from wearing as you kick it in and out of gear. Well, this one doesn't. It's just plastic. And but there again, it's a cheap Chinese reel. So alright, in case somebody might say, well, there's bearings on this right here. I've taken these snap rings apart and I've pulled that out and looked. It's just bushings here, so that's not where they're at. And also on this right here, the handle, I pried, you can see all the scratches on that one, kind of, probably not, this camera doesn't zoom in good, but anyway, I pried that out and got that out and looked down in there. That's just bushings, it's not bearings. And so all right guys, that's what we get when they say 17 plus 1. You're actually getting four bearings. And I want to talk about a little something also that you have with these reels. And I'm going to stand up here and kind of try to get y'all a close-up view of something here. Let me get the light just right. Bear with me a second. And alright, right there. You see that shaft? Hopefully you can see the wobble in that shaft. Well, that's my bigger issue with these guys. And I have no idea why they do it. I don't know why they would go this far and build this product and then machine these shafts in a way that you have, it's a 1/2 millimeter a slop, and I don't know what that is in thousandths, but just that my caliper there said it was, you know, 2.5 where it's supposed to be 3 millimeters. I figured around 40 thousandths at least out. Well, that will cause this thing to chatter when you cast it. You can cast this reel and it'll be perfectly smooth one time, and next time you cast it, it'll just make a real loud noise. And what I believe is happening is that it gets out of balance and it's just chattering against the inside of the race on that bearing. So what I done to kind of solve that issue, and it's kind of yanky or janky or however you want to call it, but it worked. I took a little super glue and I built up where that bearing rides, and I just kept turning it, and then I had it set like this in a little jar to set up. And I took my drill and I chucked up this back in a drill and had some sandpaper and turned the drill on and just kind of hone it down to where it just fit in that bearing. I basically just shimmed up that slop, put it back in, and she casts great. She really done better and eliminated that chatter and all that. But then you still have the issue of, you know, you'll have a little bit of like this in here. You can even, let me find out where my, yeah, can you guys hear that growl? It's not bad. I mean, you can live with it. It's just a little bit of a growl. But after fishing with the piscifun there, where when you're reeling it you don't hear nothing, you don't feel nothing, you don't hear nothing, I got spoiled, and I just don't want to go back to that loud sound. And so that's my 2 cents worth on this, guys. So after tearing into all these guys and doing a whole lot, I ordered a set of bearings this was before I found out about the piscifuns. I bought 3 bearings. Each one was $17 a piece. That's crazy, a person is going to say, because these reels are $25 reels and you end up spending $50 or more on them. But I just wanted to see if that would make them better, and it did. I mean, they will cast for days with them new ceramic bearings, and plus once I took the slop out of it and shimmed it up, it will outcast the piscifun's reels by about 20 feet. So you gain about 20 feet. I made at the end of one of my videos, the Perseus, I tested the Perseus against this one here that just had two of the bearings, the Boca bearings in it, and it did cast further. But all in all, it's not worth it, because I have a feeling that these parts are not going to hold up to just constantly in and out of gear. I believe you're going to start wearing that plastic out because there's no stainless for it to ride on when it's kicking in and out of gear. But like I say, if you just need a reel for a catfish pole that you're throwing out occasionally or whatever, they probably would be all right. But just for a few more dollars, the Turret was $39, and most of these cost me around I don't know, it's $25. So you know, for a few more dollars you get you a Turret, and it's pretty good reel, I would say. But I'm sure there's a lot of reels out there in this price range. I hadn't ever tried the Black Max out. My brother has a couple, and of course he just fishes for catfish, so he's not constantly casting and reeling in 1/8 ounce jigs. So you know, I don't know how it would pan out to what we have here. But all right, guys, I want to keep her a little short here, so let's just that's about all I really have to say about that. Just beware whenever they say the 17+1 that you're not getting 17 bearings, and I know that's their selling point. They just want to get you with a little deception there. But so all right, guys, hope y'all have a blessed day. God bless.